everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please take the roll call?
Matt Elliott,
Present.
Jon Draper, Tal Rancourt,
Present.
Pam Brewer,
Present.
Jack Comley,
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes on one motion if I could.
So moved.
It's been moved by Pam. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Tal seconds it. Would you poll the board, please?
Pam Brewer,
Yes.
Tal Rancourt,
Yes.
Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Jack Comley,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right, addendum 5A, Piggyback contract, Town of Jupiter Frie hydrant inspection. Maintenance, painting, and flow test. That's a bird item.
So basically, as discussions have been going on in the past about the condition of the hydrants, almost nil maintenance on them, no painting, no flow tests. So I reached out and I have a piggyback contract to inspect, maintain, flush, and paint all hydrants in the system for $22,750. It's a piggyback based on town of Jupiter, Florida. So basically, I'm bringing that forward to the board for approval to take to town council to sign the piggyback contract. These funds aren't budgeted this year. They'll have to come out of reserves. But moving forward, this will be an annual one that will have to be budgeted. And I believe a quantity we have is 350 hydrants to be tested and maintained.
And what does an inspection entail? Just opening it, make sure the valves are
Well,
working?
they inspect them. A lot of them have oil in the bonnet. They check that. They make sure the operating nut on top that makes it operate. They operate them, take the caps off, grease them up. On this one, it's more expensive. We didn't get it. We just wanted to get going. They usually operate the isolation valve in front of it. That will probably be in next year's contract. But the town has to have the employees go out and uncover and identify where the location of them all are first. So, but I figured this would be the first good move to get going, make sure everything's operating, and they look good. And then the flow test is for ISO for the fire department, so they'll be sent to Highlands County. That's for insurance purposes, for fire protection.
And the reason that we have to put this out is because we don't have enough manpower to do it ourselves? Or what?
That's correct. We don't have the staff to do it. This actual contractor I've worked with before, they have it done within 2 months. You know, and that way we, you know, have the confidence that all our hydrants are working, they look good, and then they identify any deficiencies, and then we will do the repairs in-house.
Okay.
Did you state that this cost does not have anything to do with the hydrant valve? It's just the hydrant itself?
This is just a inspection of the hydrant, maintenance of the hydrant, which is oil, checking oil and greasing. This one's going to be a flush test, a flow test, and they're going to paint all the hydrants this time. Usually they operate the isolation valve, but that's a little higher cost, but we have to go out and find and uncover the isolation valves at the hydrants so they can find them. They're not going to look for them. We have to identify all the valves. And that should be next year's program. When we do it, they'll operate the isolation valve.
And the flow is for
It shows the flows of each hydrant. You know, They have a coating, they'll paint the tops, you know, if you're over 1,000, and then as you go down. So that will identify that for the fire department if they have to hook up, you know, what kind of flows that they're getting out of that hydrant for fire protection.
And the fire department is not responsible for their own flow testing,
No, there are hydrants.
but it does affect their ISO rating.
It does. And I did contact Highlands County. They have no money to assist. Now, if you had your own fire department, some communities, the fire department will go out and do their own flow tests, but still, the town owns the hydrants.
Right. I'm just referring to the benefit is to the fire department, it's not really to the town,
Right.
that portion of the testing.
Yeah, but it's our infrastructure. This is just part of the package deal. They GIS them, so, but we have them all GIS'd anyways, but they update that, so. It's a pretty nice little program they have, and then it's completed in a short period of time, and then that gives us the confidence of our condition of our hydrants.
Is there any benefit to the town insurance rating?
I'm not sure, like I said, it's just the ISO, and usually that's fire protection, so it might be something, but like I said, if you don't have, usually most municipalities, fire department handles all that. So we're just trying to be proactive and trying to get these hydrants and find the deficient ones and get them all colored. I'm gonna have them painted yellow, so they're all the same. That way they'll be cleared and you can, you know, have no problem finding them in case of emergency and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it is mandated by DEP, you're supposed to be done yearly.
So the reason that we have to, we meaning the utility department, has to do these tests, right, is because the fire department is not part of Lake Placid. It's a county.
It's part of our distribution system, and it's mandated by the state. It's just a benefit when we do a flow test for the fire department.
Okay, because I worked for the city of Hollywood and various other towns, and the fire department always did the
But
flow
we don't-
test there, but they were, you
Yes,
know,
that's what I
city
was-
employees.
That's what I was saying earlier, that
Yeah.
some fire department does go out and do that.
Yeah.
But usually it's just the flow test, not the maintenance.
Right, yeah.
So I'm looking for approval to move it forward to town council.
You thought about adopt a hydrant program?
Excuse me?
An adopt a hydrant program?
Yes, basically, yes.
You thought about that, where you go out in the community and we sponsor a fire hydrant?
Well, basically, that's what they're doing for us, is the hydrant program.
For the what?
They're performing the hydrant program.
No, I said, have you thought about an adopt the hydrant program?
Oh,
Where you like come to my business and say, hey, for
Yeah,
$65 you can,
but if you do that, you have to have a staff member with them. You know, they're gonna paint them, but not gonna operate it, not gonna do the maintenance and stuff like that. So, but once they're painted, you know, it's, you know, and maintained, it's
so this is an annual thing?
an annual thing, yes.
So this wasn't in the budget and,
Not this year, and like I said, that issue came up last year, and I just finally got the quote after budgets came, you know, when it was approved and stuff.
When was it done last?
I can't find any records. You know, we do some stuff in-house, but very, you know, minimal. So, as far as I know, I think Joe had them painted, 10 years ago? And I don't know if they all got done or not.
So some of these hydrants may not have been opened in 10 years?
The guys have been going out and doing a little bit a year, but having them all done yearly hasn't been done.
Gotcha.
Right now, like I said, I think I only have the one hydrant out in Tomoka Heights, and that's it. But, you know, we do keep up on it and stuff like that. But this will put us in compliance with DEP, give us confidence in our hydrants' conditions.
I guess I just have to comment that for $65 a piece.
That sounds cheap.
It's, you gotta paint the hydrant, you gotta flow test it, and make comments on it. It's a reasonable cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours minimum, I would
Yeah.
think.
They send 2 to 3
Minimum.
guys out at a time, and then they just go through the system.
And they pay for the paint?
Yeah,
That's part of the deal? Yeah.
yep,
I think so.
everything. I think to have the valve exercises is like another $10 or so, $10, $20. You know, but right now, I don't have them uncovered, so we have to.
But any bad valves, strip caps, anything like that?
Right,
They would
but
get a
they
list
don't
and-
fix them, they tell us about it, and we go back and fix them, but
Gotcha.
they'll tell us the deficiencies with the hydrant.
Okay.
They supply a spreadsheet, and GIS locations on them. You know, it's a nice report they give you at the end.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to do this. If anybody would.
I would make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, it's been moved by Tal and seconded by Jack, that we piggyback basically the issue there, piggyback the contract for fire hydrant inspection, maintenance, painting, flow test based on the town of Jupiter's contract with R&M services for 350 hydrants, $65 per hydrant total of $22,750. Is that your motion? That's the motion, correct, Tal?
Yes, correct.
All right, any discussion?
Pam Pinterest. So the Florida Rural Water Association did a water report and then a sewer report, but in that water report, they had stuff on the fire hydrants, and they went to each one. So I know they didn't paint them, but they did a lot of the other stuff. I'm asking if that's correct or not. I think it's a good idea. You need to get set up, so I understand you're using reserves right now. In the future, this will be a budgeted item. And then also, is there a budgeted amount that will go along with this for actual repairs? I say that in that when you did the interlake busting project or something that was, I don't know if it was $1 million or something, when it was all said and done, there was a lot of valves that were messed up, and you had to take money out of landscaping or this to be able to pay for this. There were several things, so I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but it just going in the future, there always need to be a budget, not just for operation and maintenance, but then when things are found that need to be fixed, there'll have to be a budget item for that as well. Just something for y'all to think about.
Well, just to let you know, we do have a distribution operating budget for repairs of hydrants, water mains, valves and stuff. So we do have that already budgeted.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yep.
And you have stems and caps and
Yep.
all that stuff on
Like
hand,
I said, we
gaskets.
have our distribution
Okay.
maintenance budget line for those repairs.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, poll the board, please.
Board Member Rancourt,
Yes.
Board Member Conley,
Yes.
Matt Elliott,
Yes,
Pam Brewer,
yes.
motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you, Bert.
I believe there was another, was it a walk-on
yes.
amendment or discussion for the agenda is for the camping conference SRF loan approval for submission of only the application. Do we have that we can pull up, or this just all came in today? It's so they can hit the deadline of the SRF loan. I think that was December 11th. And again, it's one of those last-minute documents that should have been done weeks ago. So, but based on the deadline, so let's see. Okay, so the agenda item is Lake Placid Camping Conference Center line extension SRF loan application. Okay, let's see. Okay, The statement issue is the Florida Department of Environment Protection approved a state revolving loan for the town, an amount of $2.8 million as a loan to the town to the construction cost of the new town water line to be the Lake Placid Camping Conference Center owned by Advisory Board, Southern Florida District Church of Nazarene. The SRF agreement contains a principal forgiveness of $2,154,882 1 year after completion of the construction, and timely proper initial payment by the town. There will the other conditions to who the forgiveness, the town will owe the difference, which is to be paid back in time as established in the loan agreement. The initial loan and resulting reduction loan and are guaranteed by the Camping Conference District. This is a similar business structure used to construct the wastewater collections line to Lake Placid Camping Conference Center. The water line extension was completed in a prior agreement between the town and the district. The district paid 1/2 of the initial water system development charge. Approval of the following agreement is required to proceed with the water line extension. So basically, they're requesting us that, as we agreed in another agreement, to the town to put the application in for the water line, which will run from Serena all the way out to the Camping Conference down East Lake Road, 10-inch. This is just the approval for the application to be submitted. So our recommended motion, we put some caveat to it and outline some things in here just to show the protections to us, because the bulk water agreement hasn't been agreed on yet or executed. And that's, don't go too far. Oh, back down, back down. Who's rolling? You scrolling?
No, I can.
Can you bring it back down, please?
I was-
So our recommended motion is to consider approval and recommendation to the town council for the submission of the FDEP State Revolving Fund loan application for Camping Conference Center, water line extension. This action is to ensure that the town meets the December 11th, 2025 application deadline and complies with the previous approved agreement obligations. Please note, the bulk water agreement, which remains unexecuted and is under review by legal counsel, has not been received or reviewed by town staff. This document should have been included as a part of the approval package. The absence of this agreement continues to delay the town's ability to complete a full review and approval process, requiring additional staff time and resources. A fully executed bulk water agreement must be in this package for the full and final, can you scroll please, approval.
I'm sorry.
This
yes.
This ensures the town's interests and protections are clearly established and agreed upon by all parties prior to accepting the FDEB SRF loan on behalf of the Camping Conference Center for the water line extension and connection to the town system. The town currently has an existing contract and has received 1/2 of the water system development charge, and the remaining portions are due at a later stage. If the SRF loan is approved by the state, the town will retain the option to accept or decline loan by the town beforehand. Recommend a motion. I move to approve submitting the FDEP SRF loan application for Camping Conference Center water line extension to meet the state's deadline, with the condition that the final approval is dependent upon reviewing the final executed bulk water agreement. The town reserves the right to decline the loan if the agreement does not completed prior to acceptance. So we wanted to put that all in there, but we do per earlier contracts, we agreed to do this. We just don't, it's like having a bill and vote on it and say what's in it, we don't know. So just to, to be, in good faith, according to the previous agreements, we'd like to get the approval to send this to town council for their approval, just to submit the application. Based on our recommendation, if the bulk agreement is not completed or meets our requirements, we can decline the loan.
Has there been a budget established for that project?
The budget is the loan.
So
So
do you know that the $2.8 million is enough money to build
Yes.
what's desired?
Yes, it's a 80-20 loan with 80% forgiveness, and where the camping conferences is paying off the difference, and the grant management and everything else, so.
So the town makes payments on the loan for up to a year after final completion.
Right.
And what are these payments? Are they
Okay.
principal, interest only?
No, how it worked on the wastewater side, the camping conference paid a certain amount of money after completion into a account that is paid to the state in February. That's when the payment comes due.
So the town is not making payments?
No.
The camping conference?
They're making
center
payments
is
to us, and
making
we're putting it in an account. And then, as what's going on now with the wastewater, the camping conference is going to pay off the total loan in February. Otherwise, they'd be making the payments. We just manage to put into the account to hold it, and then we make the payment, but it's their contribution.
So I think it's done, correct me now, it's done this way because they cannot apply for the loan in their name. So the town is applying for it, and then they will make the payments, which to us, which then we pay back to the state.
Yes, and then they incur any extra costs that occur, like the lift station, there was a generator, some Duke Energy poles had to be moved. They just actually sent us a check for over $200,000 to cover some of those expenses. So, yeah, they're not allowed to apply, so the town did it.
The difference between the 2.8 and the 2.154 that's going to be forgiven is $645,118. So that's what the town's on.
No, that's what Camping Conference will pay.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's part of the forgiveness, but Camping Conference covers that. And that's as they did with the wastewater loan. But we wanted to put that in the recommendation. If that bulk water doesn't agree and anything else is not satisfactory between both parties and stuff, we can always decline the loan. But it gives us an option to accept or decline.
Well, this bulk agreement needs to be with this.
In my opinion, yes, so we know what's in it. So, but there's a deadline for the loan application, so. But we want the bulk water agreement by the time the loan is approved or not approved by the state. So we know what's in it, but this gives them the opportunity to get the application on time. And they've been working on their other one in good faith. So this way, but we have the caveat in there, if we're not satisfied with the bulk agreement, or they're not, or we don't have it, we just decline the loan. So that's our protection against that. And ensures we get the bulk water agreement.
From the town's
Town-
perspective,
Yep, the attorneys are still
they
have.
have no investment in this line. Is that correct?
The only investment we have is finance, taking the checks, putting them in the accounts right now. Just maintaining that, and then when the payment comes due, we send a check to the state.
And how's that look for other people hooking into the line?
Pardon me?
Other people that hook into that line later on? Do they pay a portion, or?
No, it hasn't been negotiated, I haven't seen it, but it's in the agreement, a pioneer agreement, where some of that connection fee will go back to camping conference to cover their, that 20%. But that hasn't been negotiated out yet, so we don't know what that looks like. That's why we want to see it. And I think it sunsets on that pioneer agreement after so many years too, but we haven't seen it, so. But the town will take ownership of it after it's completed, just like the wastewater line and lift station. So just looking for approval to move forward
Okay.
to town council
All right.
for approval.
So you're looking for a motion to accept the SRF loan approval for the Lake Placid Camp and Water Line Extension and authorize staff to execute all related documents and move forward with the project. Is that your motion?
And the bulk agreement that needs to go with it.
And the bulk agreement that needs to go with it?
Yeah, that they need to get with it and
But the bulk agreement won't be in place by the time the application is made.
So you're basically just asking for them permission to submit their application. And then we all have the things, checks and balances, and if we get it, we can decline or accept.
Yeah.
Because it is the town's loan.
Right.
So basically, we're just trying to move forward their application so they don't lose that window of opportunity to submit to the state, that's all.
I would make that recommendation. I would make that motion, yes.
The one I stated, okay?
Yes.
Let me read it again.
Yes.
I read it kind of fast. Okay, Tal moves to accept the SRF loan approval for the Lake Placid Camp water line extension and authorizes staff to execute all related documents and move forward with the project. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Jack seconds it. Any discussion? Yes, Pam?
Pam Fentress. So this water line for the Lake Placid Camp and Conference Center, many times during the meetings, I come up here and ask about the status. It's almost been 2 years now. Almost 2 years ago, this thing was already agreed, already had an SRF loan, and it was going out for bid. So, and then month after month on the different utility director's report, it would say that this was in the attorney's office. It was in between Bert Harris as the town attorney and Lake Placid Camper Conference attorney, month after month, year after so-and-so. And now it came back to there's a collateral issue with the loan. They didn't have enough collateral. I just want y'all to know some history and then going forward. At the last town council meeting, council wasn't given, y'all voted on this. This committee had voted, and then Bert had given a presentation, and you made a recommendation. The council wasn't given the recommendation of this utilities committee. Plus, that night, 3 options were on the council agenda to approve, added stuff. That the Bert Harris was not there at the council meeting, so this item actually got pulled. And so it had morphed, it had changed from what was presented to y'all to what was presented for council, and council didn't discuss because the item got pulled. Now it's back to you guys to discuss and stuff. I think you need to add a timeline for completion. This could probably sit, I understand there's a deadline, and it's very unfortunate that the utilities director, it makes it look like you're just adding this on at the last minute. I don't think it's a utilities director issue, I think it's a town attorney's issue. Having said that, this is a repeated habitual habit of things like this happening. You need a timeline saying how long is it going to stay in the town attorney's office or in between the town attorney and the Camp and Conference Center attorney. And y'all need feedback when it comes back to y'all, or what does the town council actually approve? That bulk water agreement, that's a big thing, the pioneering agreement. And again, I understand it's nothing on, the utilities director or town staff, but I could see me being here next year and me saying, is there an update on the Camping Conference Center, water line? Oh, it's in the attorney's office. Figure it out, whatever you have to do. I would just respectfully request that, and some kind of timeline. I know there's a timeline because it's a grant timeline, but what is the real issue? There were 3 recommendations on the council meeting. A lot of stuff was, in my opinion, was put in there that y'all hadn't reviewed.
Thank you.
I agree the timeline ought to be December 11th.
Timeline for,
Filing the SRF and the bulk water agreement.
Like, I'm not positive how long it takes them to go through the approval of the SRF loans. The deadline is December 11th, but if you wanted to put it, I'd say at least 30 days or something. After approval to take this, we could always say, we want the bulk water agreement within 30 days. Their process is not going to move that fast, especially with the holidays coming up and everything else. But I'd like to see it before they even come back with approval or decline. So, but that's why we put that in the recommendations, is we want to see this thing before we approve. If we get it and then approve, we're not going to accept or decline until we see that water bulk agreement. But if you would like to put a 30, 60 days on that, you want to see it, I'd suggest a 30-day, or by the first of the year, you know what I mean? Because, we only have, with holidays coming up, you only got about a month and a half.
I think it's going to take a while to get the actual bulk water agreement, and I just believe that, yes, we can set a timeline on it, but nobody's got any teeth or control of that timeline, so
But they should have a bulk agreement already for the sewer.
Oh, we have the sewer one, that's all done and completed, the bulk wastewater one. This is the new one for the water line here. So our teeth in that is, you don't get it to us, we're not accepting the loan.
agreed that.
Right. But I'd like to see it before.
The town is in control of that.
Right.
And maybe there does need to be a timeline, but it's got to be a realistic timeline.
Yes, but
So-
my understanding is that it's just collateral and one other small item. Most of it's completed, as far as I know, but we just don't have the executed one, and we haven't reviewed it and seen it. No, town attorney has, but staff hasn't, so.
Help me out here. If we put a timeline on it, whatever, and it passes, then what? I mean, is there a certain point when we say enough is enough and we just don't, we get the revenue from the sewer based on the running of the pump, right?
Yeah, it's
Is it-
just based on run times, right?
So
So the
what
water main,
happens if we don't meet the deadline and it goes on another 2 years, and on and on and on, and gets extended by 6 months, and
right,
Right.
right, no, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, we're doing this in good faith, trying to get it, the application in. We're not approving the loan, we're not approving bulk
Oh,
water, we're
yeah.
not doing nothing, just giving them the opportunity
oh, yeah,
to put the application in.
yeah, I understand, this isn't the application only,
And
but
that's it, we're not agreeing
But-
to nothing else.
how can we get out of this loop of always, it's not ready yet, it's not ready yet?
I don't think we have that much control.
How does anybody have?
So that's why we put that caveat
Yeah.
into the
No, it's good.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Because this is a continuing thing, and it's ridiculous, getting documents last minute.
At what point does the...
slow walking them, getting partial, it's frustrating.
Is-
And then you come up to a hard-line deadline, and, you try to,
Is there an option for the town to say, we've had enough, we're walking away?
it's always an option.
As long as we're getting revenue for the sewer now. We wouldn't get any revenue for the water.
Right,
We'd,
but
lose that opportunity, but
So the opportunity right now, all your sewage is based on your water bill. Now we're gonna have to estimate if we hook anybody up to that. And we could be losing, or we could be overcharging, but that's something we have to figure out. We don't have nothing in our ordinance about that yet. So the water line would be beneficial, so we could monitor and meter correctly.
plus extra revenue.
Extra revenue from the camp conference all the way, then heading south, so. But, like I said, we worked our way through the first one. I think we can get through this one too. Like I said, they're doing their due diligence, making payments here and everything else, it's just a bumpy road. It should be smoother.
So we already have a motion and a second.
Correct? Just, do you want to put any teeth in it or anything before we vote?
I agree with a timeline, but trying to add a timeline to that motion and get somebody to stick by it is, we don't have the power. We're making a recommendation.
Correct.
I think the motivation, though, the overall motivation is on the Camp Conference Center side. And I do think that there could be some timeline set to that, but that's really more town council than it is us.
Okay. Pam?
Camp interest, if several years ago it had already gone through the process and was going out for bid, wouldn't there already have been a bulk water agreement? So to say that we need this time, or it's not time with the state, it's not time with so-and-so, isn't it, between the town attorney and the attorney for the Camp and Conference Center? And so there's the rub. So what has changed, and yes, the Camp and Conference Center, when they had already agreed to all this stuff, and then it came a part where they didn't apparently have the collateral to, because if you keep on delaying stuff, prices go up. The $40 million was supposed to pay for, wastewater treatment plant and all these other things. Well, I'm not going to go say the other thing. I was going to say pickleball, but anyway, never mind. As you delay, this goes up, this pump house, or this, not lift station, I know that's the wrong thing to say here, but it just adds up. So all of a sudden, then they couldn't cover it. So if it started out being $2 million, now it's $2.8 million. And so that was where they had to pull back. But it should not be rocket science to come up with a pioneering agreement for the bulk water agreement. And also know they have one for the sewer. They have a pioneering agreement that I don't think they've ever been able to benefit off of. They haven't sold the excess sewer. So what are you really talking about? But I would not let it be held up month after month, 6 months, and then to be trying to chase, where is it? Oh, it's in his office. No, it's in his office. I've seen it for years. Sorry to ramble.
It's all right.
Plus, it isn't wise to sign a contract or anything without having an end date.
Well, and I think that's the point of this, is they're making an application for the loan. When the loan does become available and there is a contract, absolutely, the bulk water agreement has to accompany.
That's
Controlling
right.
that timeline in between, you're right. Delay costs money, and it's a problem. I just don't see how we can incorporate that in a recommendation.
I'll carry it to the town council that the frustrations with not getting this done.
That's correct. That is the frustration.
Okay. Ready to poll the board?
Tal Rancourt,
Yes.
Jack Comley,
Yes,
Matt Elliott,
Yes.
Pam Brewer,
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we can do my director's report first, and then, unless you want to.
Can I just do that?
Sure. Yep.
I was asked to come down and talk about the workshop for the 13th and what that's about. I think, Joy, you met with Central Florida Regional Planning one-on-one, those one-on-one meetings. That's to prepare for that 13th meeting. The joint meeting is really going to be an informational kickoff. We have the comprehensive plan that is state statutory that's going to be coming up. Central Florida Regional Planning is now finishing up their downtown revitalization plan. When that ends, then we'll start rolling into the comprehensive plan, visioning plan. If you hadn't had a chance, I think I printed a copy of the comprehensive plan, the 2031. We're required by state statute to do the 2050. The county has just completed their 2050 comprehensive plan. Now the town's going to have to do theirs as it comes up. I think that it's due in 27. This is a long process, and you guys are going to be coming together and doing your visioning and your planning. It has to do with your LPRP, which is the local planning area, the Lake Placid local planning area that's built into the comp plan. That we'll talk about water lines, they'll talk about transportation, they'll talk about your vision for how you want to see the town grow. So it was thought that we would have a joint, just as a kickoff, get some information out, just kind of get some familiarity of where we're going in the process, because it is a long consuming, I wasn't here when they did the 2030, but my understanding, it is a long process to go through. So there'll be ordinances and different things that are going to come before each board. So each board will have, you'll make recommendations to town council, so LPA, town council ultimately will make the final decision, but everybody kind of plays a part in that visioning of how you want your 2050 comp plan, how you want to see town of Lake Placid grow. And it talks about it goes into the comprehensive plan, goes into everything. It goes into parks, it goes into your utilities, where you want to see everything go, your planning and zoning, all of that. So this is really a kickoff to bring all the boards together, just to have Central for Regional Planning, because they're going to be the ones that are going to help facilitate that comprehensive plan process. Any questions? So that's going to be Thursday on the 13th at 5:30. And Central Florida Regional Planning, Jennifer Cota Salisbury will be leading that, or her team will be leading that. And it's going to be a workshop environment, so we may end up like even setting this up more in a workshop kind of where everybody can just talk to each other and get some understanding of what's going on. Any questions?
13th at 5:30, right?
Yes.
Here.
It's Thursday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Any questions? You guys have a great day. I'm going to head out. The team is you're in capable hands.
Okay. That's my agenda. Okay, back to you. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Report.
I think the last thing we have here is director's report. Director's report's the last thing, everything else has been covered.
Okay.
All right, for November 2025 projects, utility rate increase new ordinance that was brought to you, for you last week, or last meeting, I apologize. We're bringing it forward to the council this week for the first reading on Monday, and then the following Monday, the second reading for approval. So hopefully that passes, and then the new rates will kick in, I think, the 15th of November, I think.
Because the thing said October 21st, I think, didn't
Okay,
it?
maybe it's 21st.
October, though.
No, it's going to be November. We lost a
Okay.
month because of
Right.
paperwork. Yeah.
All right, well, I didn't know if it retroactive or something, but okay.
No.
So it's going to kick it
we
forward.
gotta get it
All right.
approved, okay. I got the fire hydrant contract That's what's on here, I brought that towards you. A water service pump at Highway Park has been installed. We're still waiting on the one for Tomoka Heights. It was supposed to be here in October. We're still delayed on that one. After we get that one in, we'll be in compliance with DEP on pumps. Wastewater construction, wastewater plant construction is still on pace for completion February 26th. It's looking pretty good out there. A lot of progress has been made. Anybody who wants to go out there, we can set something up, take a ride, meet out there one day or something if you guys want to see it. But it's coming along real good. It's starting to look pretty good. The LPC3 water main installed on Lake Drive East. The agreement we just got done talking about, so hopefully they get that completed. The south plant, lift station to decommission the south plant. Structures are in, waiting on a panel for that. And one tap, I believe it's on East Lake Drive. Pressure tests are all been done, so that's on schedule to be done in December. With them, we'll have the flows moving to the new plant when that's completed in February. Main Street and McQuarrie, they're on, McQuarrie's on schedule. We're just been requested an extension about a month for the main because some structures haven't come in yet. But they'll be all done by February also. Pannoni is still overseeing technical services of the lift stations. Everything's going good there. Open positions, Bobby Clem retirement this week. So what I did is probationary promotions, move Michael Ashbury up to his position, training him. I'm moving people up from within and trying to train and educate them. And then we hired 2 new meter readers to replace the ones we're moving up. So we're trying to, get some advancement for employees that have been here for a little bit, get them training and moving them up to a different position. All right, what else we got here? Oh, grant updates. Like I said, there was the grants, portal was closed this year, but we did get approval for the 319 grant, which is for the grind stations to on private property. Trying to help people that want to connect. We're still working out the details, but at a very low cost to connect. I believe we got enough money for 35 stations. So we're going to be working on trying to get the program started from scratch and, picking these spots and having people have the opportunity to, abandon their septic tanks and hook up for a very low price through the grants. And that's basically it right now.
On the wastewater treatment plant, a while back, there was some equipment that was had a long lead time or something like that. Was it the computer systems that controlled the plant or something like that?
The Icon building,
Yeah, how?
it's installed and it was
Okay.
brought on site and installed.
Okay, so there's no
No
major
Nope,
pieces that are missing that,
No, they brought that up, the town, myself and staff jumped into it, and we had to take care of it and delivered ahead of time, so.
okay.
No, like I said, it's looking really good out there.
Okay.
Anything else? I don't have anything for you guys.
Anything, Pam? Okay.
All right, well, good seeing you guys.
Seeing none, everybody have a good Thanksgiving and adjourn the meeting.
All right. Thank you again.